Fantasy Football is back, and we've teamed up with the guys at Fantasy Football Pundits, and we'll be playing the official FIFA World Cup Fantasy Football game over the coming weeks. Our mini-league is now open, and you can join by clicking the link in the description box below. Or alternatively, you can manually enter the league by using the code on screen now. When the final whistle blows, on the 15th of July, you could be walking away with a share of our £225 prize fund. Round 1 kicks off with Russia v Saudi Arabia on Thursday the 14th of June, and here's a look at how the FPL Tips team is shaping up. Jordan Pickford appears to have won the number 1 shirt ahead of Jack Butland and Nick Pope, and with opening fixtures against Tunisia and Panama, who are 21st and 55th in the FIFA World Rankings at present, England and Belgian players are firmly on the radar. Gareth Southgate's side conceded just 3 times in qualifying, the joint best record along with Spain, so Kieran Trippier has also been selected. Operating in a right wing-back role, the Spurs defender has taken over a share of set pieces since winning a place in the side. With 5 goals and 7 assists in qualifying, no defender was directly involved in more goals than Belgium's Thomas Meunier, and the right wing-back also faces Panama and Tunisia across the first 2 rounds. After Colombia's first-choice left-back suffered an injury that will rule him out of the World Cup, 25-year-old defender Johan Mojica looked to be a potential bargain. They're widely tipped as favourites to win their group, and in round 1, Colombia face a Japan side that have failed to win any of their 4 recent friendlies, conceding 7 goals and scoring just twice. Across the midfield, we've gone for big hitters in the form of Thomas Muller, James Rodriguez and Christian Eriksen, who will each provide captain options throughout the opening rounds. Over the last 6 matches in qualifying, Eriksen's tally of 12 shots on target was on par with Griezmann, Lewandowski and Neymar. Only Lukaku and Ronaldo registered more. Muller created 22 chances during that period, just 2 fewer than Lionel Messi produced, and the German midfielder was directly involved in 12 goals in total during the qualifiers, scoring 5 times and providing 7 assists. Morocco's Hakim Ziyech scored 9 goals and registered 15 assists in the league for Ajax last season, and will be hoping to replicate that form for his country. He's likely to be responsible for the majority of their set pieces, including penalties. The final spot in midfield is likely to go to a Russia player, with the intention of having a captain option for day 1, and Alexei Miranchuk is penciled in for now, but will have the advantage of being able to see the Russia starting lineup prior to the deadline. The 22-year-old is a little bit of a punt, having occasionally lined up as a partner for Smolov up front, but there is a chance he may not even start, and if that's the case, we can swap him out. Moving on to the forwards, it's a deadly strike force of Romelu Lukaku and Gabriel Jesus. Only Ronaldo and Lewandowski scored more than the Manchester United strikers' 11 goals in qualifying, and Lukaku's involvement in 11 big chances during the last 6 qualifying games was more than any other player. Jesus, meanwhile, has 10 goals across 17 appearances for Brazil, including 7 goals and 4 assists from 9 starts in qualifying. The official Fantasy World Cup game offers the opportunity to stick or twist with your captain after each day within a round. So with that in mind, here are the 6 potential captain options within this team for round 1. Miranchuk or perhaps another Russian midfielder will take the armband initially on day 1. Ziyech will be the option for day 2 against Iran, before Eriksen on day 3 for Denmark's opener against Peru. Should the Spurs man fail as captain, Thomas Muller will be up next on day 4, Romelu Lukaku will provide the option for day 5 against Panama, and finally, should the Belgian provide an uninspiring captain score, James Rodriguez will offer a final twist option for captaincy on the last day of round 1, as Colombia face Japan. However, there is of course the option to stick at any time if one of the captains returns a substantial score. The final thing to note here is that the bench isn't organised into the correct order, to take advantage of substitutions. Generally, you'll want to use the 4 bench places for the players who play last out of your squad, so that you can bring them on for players who fail to return points. However, for this team, we've got the bench boost chip in play for round 1, to hopefully start off with a bang. The reason behind the decision is that there are a number of players who provide balance to the squad, from the likes of Morocco, Russia and Nigeria, and those cheap budget options might not make it out of the group stage, which could make it harder to build a bench boost squad later on in the tournament. But there is the added risk of not being quite sure on which players will start in round 1, with only the recent friendlies to base our decisions on. But looking at the fixtures, it may just be a risk worth taking. Nigeria goalkeeper Uzoho and Denmark's Dalsgaard are two of the players enabled by the bench boost chip, while Uruguay punts Varela and De Arrascaeta also make the cut. Varela is expected to be first choice at right back, but suffered a minor injury prior to Uruguay's most recent friendly game, though he has since returned to training according to reports. De Arrascaeta is reverse out of position, meaning he's technically an attacking midfielder, but he's listed as a forward. However, he's lined up as either a left midfielder or in the number 10 role during recent matches, operating behind Cavani and Suarez, so offers a cheap way into that impressive looking Uruguay attack. So that's how the FPL Tips team is shaping up as things stand. Leave a comment below and let me know how you're lining up, and best of luck for round 1.